There are times when time seems to bow before a greater force. Without warning, we are pulled into an energetic vortex that silences external noise and forces us to listen to the truth that pulsates behind the veil. The week of April 20th to 26th is not just a period on the calendar, it is a code, a call, an activation. There is a veiled urgency that can no longer be ignored. And if you got here, it was not by chance. Something inside you sensed the invisible. Movement that is forming. This message needs to be received before the next door closes. Because what will be revealed now? It could change everything. Few realize that cycles like this are prepared long before they happen. They are born of cosmic convergences, of subtle geometries between planets, of pulsations that cross the fabric of reality and reach the most sensitive. Between April 20th and 26th, a portal opens not by spectacle, but by necessity. He summons those who are ready to abandon old ways of being. But to cross this passage, one must recognize the hidden error that is preventing its expansion. And this error is not outside, it lives quietly within your frequency. You have been conditioned to believe that spiritual growth depends on effort, that we need to do more, learn more, achieve more. But the truth is that effort without direction vibrates in scarcity. True growth does not come from accumulation, but from liberation. You don't need more answers. Need to get rid of the wrong questions. That which you seek is already trying to find you, but your energy is still stuck in old narratives. The hidden mistake is to keep trying to ascend while carrying the weight of what should have already been left behind. This week will shed that weight. It will rub in front of you everything that you have not yet had the courage to let go of. There is a barely perceptible but deeply effective spiritual trap, the idea that you need to always be healing something. The relentless search for a cure has become, for many, a new addiction. The spiritualized mind remains mind, and if it is not observed, it disguises control under the guise of evolution. This trap traps consciousness in a cycle of infinite self-analysis. And this week's portal comes as a break. He asks for silence where before there was noise, presence where before there was judgment. True awakening does not require perfection, it requires surrender. Are you willing to give up the addiction of fixing yourself and simply remember who you are? Nothing can pass through this portal without vibrational authenticity. And authenticity is not a pretty speech about spirituality. It is the actual frequency that you emanate when no one is looking. It is the vibration that echoes from your field when you are not trying to impress, teach, or prove anything. Authenticity is the raw state of the soul, without masks, without adornments, without strategies. And it is exactly this state that the April portal is demanding, because there is no more time to keep characters. The universe is collapsing all false versions. And if you try to sustain a frequency that is not yours, you will be torn from it with intensity. This is the week. When the soul calls and the ego needs to shut up, many underestimate the impact of the physical body on spiritual energy. But the body is the temple where all frequencies consolidate. If he is intoxicated, overwhelmed, disconnected, no meditation will have real depth. The portal of this week acts directly on the body. You may experience this as extreme tiredness, pain for no apparent cause, changes in sleep or eating. These are all signs of recalibration. Your body is trying to align with a new timeline, but he needs your listening. There is no point in just wanting to ascend if your body is still vibrating in dense patterns. The light that is coming in needs space, and space is created through the release of everything that has already won. The internal language becomes the protagonist at this moment. What you say to yourself in silence shapes your frequency more deeply than any words spoken aloud. Words create forms. Sustained thoughts create realities. And this week, the portal will amplify all that you repeat within your mind. Therefore, it is essential to watch lovingly what you are telling yourself. If your inner narrative is still governed by fear, doubt, or guilt, that will be the energy that will be magnetized. But if you can sustain the language of truth, trust, and presence, this portal will open up possibilities that seemed unattainable just a few days ago. Portals are not passive events. They don't happen to entertain you or thrill you. They are precise opportunities to collapse one reality and anchor another. The April portal is a catalyst for creation. He is pushing you out of the dormant zone. It is saying clearly that the time for waiting is over. The call is now, and that any hesitation will be perceived as a choice to remain in the old. Whatever you desire to manifest needs to be anchored now with aligned action, not with chaotic effort, but with energetic precision. Because the codes are available, but they only respond to those who are already vibrating in the frequency of what they want to live. This is a call to remember. To remember what you came here to do. To remember that each choice of yours creates a field. To remember that the future is not there in front, it is built every moment with the energy that you decide to sustain now. From April 20th to 26th, time doubles for those who are ready. Doors open to those who are available. But it only crosses those who have already got rid of the versions that no longer fit. So listen to the silence. Honor the body. Purify the mind. And walk boldly towards what is already yours. Because the next level of your existence is waiting. On the other side of the portal, there is no more room for distractions. The energy that pours over us this week is precise, intelligent, and relentless with all that is illusory. The portal between April 20th and 26th does not tolerate emotional hesitation. It will pull to the surface all the remnants of self-sabotage that still operate behind the scenes of your frequency. Old patterns of fear will come disguised as rational justifications. People and situations that seemed resolved can reappear as vibrational tests. Make no mistake, none of this is backwards. It's just the universe showing you, with clarity, what still vibrates in you, even if your mind has already outgrown it. Because that which still vibrates in the unconscious will continue to create results, no matter how much you say you are awake. This is a time of loving vigilance. Silencing rushed narratives. Listen to what's really going on in your field. You have the courage to be silent and let your own frequency reveal what is behind the words. Many cannot stand this silence because, in it, there are no more excuses. No more distractions. Only the naked truth of the energy you carry. But it is precisely at this point that the quantum leap happens. When you stop looking for explanations and start feeling the field. When you stop clinging to the story and start surrendering to the vibration. Because everything that is coming now is not to be understood with the mind. It is to be crossed with the heart. The frequency of the portal is not linear. It does not follow human logic. It acts by resonance. This means that it responds to your real vibration, not to what you desire, not to what you say, but to what you are. And to sustain that high vibration, you have to be willing to die. Die for old versions. To die to old desires that no longer have coherence with your soul. Die for the characters you created to protect yourself. This is a week of symbolic death. And every energetic death brings discomfort. It brings confusion. It brings resistance. But it also brings the liberation that your soul has been asking for years. It is in this field of rupture that true rebirth is born. The transformation that this portal offers will not be immediately visible. It happens on subtle planes. The change happens first in the invisible, in the micro-adjustments of your vibration, in the thoughts that you stop feeding, in the feelings that you finally release, in the words that you choose no longer to pronounce. And only later, over time, the physique begins to reorganize. Matter bows to frequency, but it needs consistency to obey. So don't look for immediate proof. Sustain vibrational faith even in the face of seeming emptiness, because everything that is being planted this week will bloom in the coming cycles. As long as you are willing not to give up halfway, you may feel that something is about to change dramatically. You may not know what or how, but there's a restlessness in your field that doesn't lie. That feeling is real. It is your soul perceiving the approach of a turning point. And such points are rare. They cannot be accurately predicted, nor artificially repeated. They require full presence. They demand total surrender. Because at this very moment, you are being repositioned energetically. And this repositioning will only be complete if you stop resisting. There is no more room for middle ground. Either you line up, or you will be pushed. And that push, for many, will come in the form of crises, ruptures, and breakdowns. Not as a punishment, but as a root correction. Therefore, welcome discomfort as a sign of cleanliness. Welcome instability as a prelude to a new order. Embrace the voids as spaces of creation. Everything that is collapsing is creating space for something infinitely more aligned. But you need to allow it to happen from the inside out. This is a week to get away from outside noise, to protect your energy as if it were sacred because it is. It's time to choose firmly what you allow to enter your field. People, content, thoughts, environments. Everything is vibration, and everything is affecting you much more than you realize. We have reached the point where there is no return. The portal is active. The call was made. And now it all depends on your vibrational positioning. You can keep waiting for external signals, validations, and permissions. Or you can decide with clarity that your time is now. Crossing that portal takes courage. It demands delivery. It requires presence. But above all, it requires truth. And the truth does not scream, it vibrates. Silent, but undeniable. And if you listen with an open heart, you will feel that you already know everything you need to know. Because you didn't come here to survive another cycle. You came to be reborn within him. To remember the power that has always been yours. And finally, to choose to live with an exposed soul, an awakened heart, and firm feet in the new earth that is being born. Inside you, perhaps you are still waiting for a clearer signal. Something external that legitimizes this internal call that already pulses incessantly. But the truth is that signs don't come to convince, they come to confirm. And what you need is not more evidence, but more presence. Because this week, the veil between the worlds is thinner. And those who dare to stop, breathe, and feel will see that everything they have always sought, it's already here. It is between the lines of everyday life, in the silences between thoughts, in the invisible pulses that move the reality behind matter. The portal from April 20th to 26th is not only a spiritual opportunity, it's a timeline divider. A time when your vibrational choices will define the next few years of your life, and perhaps this is the hardest part to accept, that everything you have lived up to here has been a training. Every pain, every frustration, every cycle that was repeated to the limit of exhaustion. Everything was preparing you for this now. Nothing was in vain. No tears, no loss, no mistake. Everything has been orchestrated to empty you of illusions, to strip you of excesses, to make you transparent enough to receive the light that is now available. But to receive, one must give up. You have to let go of what you thought you wanted. You have to let go of control. And trust that the intelligence that guides the cosmos also guides your soul, even when everything seems chaos. If you manage to stop fighting the process, something great will begin to emerge from within. And it will not be something new, but something old, sacred, forgotten. A knowledge that you have not read in books, but that you carry imprinted in the DNA of your soul. A knowledge that does not come from the mind, but from the essence. This week's portal is unlocking ancient spiritual memories. You are activating codes that were dormant in your energy field. And as these codes are accessed, you start to remember. Remember what you came here to do. Remember who you were before you forgot. Remember that you are a creative spark, not a victim of circumstances. But this memory only happens to those who are available to feel and not just understand. So, do not try to explain what is happening. Feel it. Let your field do the talking. Let the synchronicities guide you. Let the body show you what needs to be released. This week, everything that is false will begin to fall apart, but only to reveal what is true. And the real thing is not comfortable. The real thing is pure, intense, transformer. That's why so many resist, because the real requires the death of the character. And few are ready to stop being who they have believed themselves to be all their lives. But if you are here, listening to this message, it is because your soul has already chosen to cross. All that remains is for your ego to accept the end of the illusion. Don't get distracted. Don't sabotage yourself. Do not minimize what is being felt. This is the week to take care of your energy with reverence. To silence the world outside and turn inward. To allow cleaning to happen at all levels. You may feel like isolating yourself, crying for no reason, changing old habits, saying no to what you once tolerated. All this is a symptom of realignment. Honor those impulses, because the more you resist, the more life will force the necessary cuts. And the more you surrender, the lighter the process will be. This is a crossing that requires inner firmness. There is no more room to negotiate with what diminishes you. The soul wants no more concessions. She wants truth. She wants presence. She wants wholeness. You are a multidimensional being undergoing a profound energetic upgrade. This means that your reality will begin to reflect this new internal state. Relationships can change. Purposes can realign. Desires can dissolve. And all this is necessary for the new to enter. Do not resist the changes. Celebrate them. Each cycle that closes is making room for something much more aligned with your essence. But the new does not come where there is still attachment for the old. This week's portal is a bridge, but only those who let go through. Who delivers? Who trusts the invisible more than the known, and at the end of this crossing, you will no longer be the same. Something in you will have died. Something will be born. And you will feel with clarity that you have finally come out of the place where you were trapped. That something has been unlocked. That a new timeline began to unfold. And even if the world out there still looks the same, you will know that inside, everything has changed. Because once the soul awakens, it can never again sleep peacefully within a reality that does not honor its truth. And that is the greatest gift of this portal, the birth of your new truth. Pure, raw, luminous. No disguises. No masks. No fear. Only you, whole, real, and available to live the life your soul has always dreamed of.